Poverty is the inability to provide for your own and your family's basic needs. Those basic needs are nutrition, housing, clothing. I mean, these are all simple things that really everybody needs to have in life. And so that is my definition of poverty. You know, it's not just people in faraway countries, images that you see on the TV of, you know, starving adults, starving children. Poverty exists right here with us, here in Yola County and in Woodland. And we have families that are living in their vehicles because they can't afford rent. You know, we have families that are eating very poor meals in terms of nutrition. It's dehydrated food, high in sodium, which in turn leads to illnesses that are really quite preventable. And so these are the things that define poverty for us here in our community. And it really is important for us to work together to eliminate this from our community.
I believe that poverty is more than lack of money. I believe that poverty is also lack of access to resources, opportunities, and stability. I think it can affect really important things like education, health, housing, and it just creates barriers that are difficult to overcome for people. But I also believe that it's a systemic issue and not necessarily an individual issue.
I think coming from a family that has personally experienced poverty, I think it really allows me to reflect on it and relate to it in a different way than for most people. You know, poverty is defined in a lot of different ways, and to me, poverty really is about limited resources that are created through the systems that are in place, whether it's our government, our education, our health care. That's how I define poverty.
Well, personally, it means a lot because I grew up in a very low income socioeconomic family and understand the fundamentals of what it is not to have certain things. Poverty to me is not having the economic resources to be able to use things, get the basic needs. Essentially, we're talking about food, healthcare, education, resources in the community, and that's a very difficult challenge for a lot of families, and I understand it, and you know how it feels to be in those situations. So that to me is very fundamental, you know, just to meet those basic needs.
Woodland Community College empowers students and the community to break the cycle of poverty by providing a pathway to a better outcome. Here at Woodland Community College, we provide that opportunity for someone to start over. Maybe you were not that student who came to college right out of high school, but that does not mean that the opportunity is no longer there for you. We have traditional students, and we also have the older adult students who are coming here to Woodland Community College. It's not unusual to have an 18-year-old sitting next to a 35-year-old in one of our classes. That's very common, and that's how Woodland Community College is paving the way to change that dynamic for families. We also provide financial assistance that's available to students who come here. So we try as much as possible to remove the barriers so that making education accessible to everyone.
Yeah, so WCC offers high quality, affordable education, and it just makes it much more accessible to people. For example, we have obviously our financial aid and scholarships that are available to students that already removes those financial barriers. We have career and technical education that gives people real-world skills for jobs that are well-paid and stable.
I think that our college does a really wonderful job at creating the supports necessary for our students, right? So Annette, whether it's through student services, through instruction, through embedded tutoring, we have so many resources, but I think that the main way that our college does this is through having staff and faculty and administrators that genuinely care about their students. Having students come to our college and know that they are cared for and supported, and that they can go to any one of our offices if needed, and we will be there for them. I think that's the biggest way that we make a difference.
Well, first and foremost, I think that education is fundamental to break the cycle of poverty, and it does go generational, in terms of if it doesn't end, it could continue, right? But I think education is the foundation for learning, becoming a skilled individual to learn how to navigate the system, learn how to, for better opportunities as they move forward, become critical thinkers, be able to then access resources, especially like here at Woodland Community College. We have a lot of resources because our goal is to really break that cycle and get students into positions of better opportunities, make it an environment that will sustain their efforts in successfully fulfilling their academic objectives. With that, we provide resources that are great. We're in a time where we could do that for students, and there's a lot of challenges out there. So I see education as that connection to bridge students to a better future.
Education prepares individuals to be ready to respond when opportunities arise. Without post-secondary education, most people are limited to working minimum wage jobs. And the reality is that's just not enough. A minimum wage job is not sufficient for a family to be able to thrive. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, someone who graduates with a high school diploma makes $781 a week, as compared to somebody with a bachelor's degree that makes $1,305. That's a significant difference in being able to provide for your family. So again, at Woodland Community College, we provide that opportunity for you to be able to come here, find your place, and have that opportunity to advance.
I believe that education opens the door to better jobs and financial stability. It gives people knowledge, it gives people skills, it gives people credentials. And I think that those are important, especially if you're out in the world talking about different topics. I think it gives people, or actually it fosters critical thinking so that you can advocate for yourself and advocate for others. I think it's important for people to have critical thinking so that they can learn how to question, research, and learn how to verify information. This is important, for example, whenever there's elections, you want people to be well-informed and learn how to better inform themselves with other political matters as well, and being able to look at things from an objective, aware lens. And I think that WCC embodies this mission by providing accessible education, like I said, career pathways, and then just support in all different kinds of ways to ensure that our students are successful. Many WCC students are also first in their family to come to college, myself included, and that's just a proven way that education can break barriers and disrupt generational poverty.
I think poverty, you mentioned the word cycle. Poverty can be a generational cycle. And so in creating opportunities for access to education, we change the lives not only of our students, but of their families and of our communities. So I think that by ensuring that education at our college is open and accessible to all students, regardless of their financial background, makes a huge difference.
Well, it's because it really allows the students to grow and to learn what's out there for them and to become self-sustaining and looking at and learning opportunities as they move forward, or building skills that'll give them better opportunities. Woodland Community College is a great environment. They can see people and see faculty members, administrators, classified staff as role models, seeing individuals when, I went through this, when I saw individuals that had similar backgrounds to mine, I thought, wow, look at that person. I want to be like that person. Or an educator is like, oh, wow, they have so many skills. Maybe I could do something like that. And I think here at Woodland, we're a very beautiful environment in terms of providing a safety area where they can feel confident and build those skills while also receiving resources. Economically, they need resources. We have financial aid, we have the California Dream Act, we have the College Promise Grant, we have the local high school promise grant for our local feeder schools. So as students engage in the college and are part of the college, this becomes their safety net a lot of times for where they can go and they feel they can access resources, information, and really build their skills.
Community involvement is very important. At Woodland Community College, we really embrace our community. My department in particular, I work with a lot of our community partners. The YOLO Food Bank, for instance, is one of our big partners providing food. They also do a distribution here on our campus. So that's one partnership that works. I have partnerships with other community partners that provide clothing assistance. They provide help with getting foster youth into their first apartment. So there are lots of opportunities for the community to get involved with what's happening here. There's that old saying, it takes a village. Well, together as a community, we are helping our students not just get an education, but at the end of it, to be fully empowered to grasp life and move forward.
Yeah, well, the community is super important in our mission. I believe that the community can help with maybe providing internships or opportunities for students. It's important for us to have our alumni be involved and continue to be connected to the campus. If you don't have the ability to stay connected to the campus, then the community can also participate in just by spreading awareness that this college exists and that this is really their college. A lot of times we use the phrase, your college, your future, and the your college I really emphasize with students because I want students in the community to believe that because I think that it can create a ripple effect that can lift individuals, it can lift families now and for generations to come.
Yeah, I think our college really sets an example for working with our community in our efforts to end poverty. We have collaborations with the YOLO Food Bank. We've been a partner for the YOLO Food Bank for over 4 years. I'm not sure exactly how many years, but we have been a partner where we actually serve as a site for the community. So we invite the community not only to come to our college to take advantage of our educational resources, but we also open up our doors by making sure that they can also access food at our campus. So it's actually a program that has grown. The community has learned more about it. And so every week we have the YOLO Food Bank on site ready to support our community and distribute food. We also have partnerships with local organizations. Our staff and faculty often go out to our local schools. We participate in career fairs. We participate in volunteer opportunities that are offered through our community.
I think it's fundamental. We are a community college, and having those contacts or that partnership with our community members is really, it involves everybody, right? And we as a community college, working with outside organizations to build those pathways for students so that students understand this is accessible, it is open, and I could attend. We have a lot of those partnerships with the local high schools, with local organizations. with the university systems to help build that connection for students. And as they come, they feel like they're in a community that's welcoming for them. And when we're not here that they feel safe and they feel supported, and there's resources for them that they can access free, really. I think community college is the most affordable way of to become educated, and to get that education and move forward towards higher aspirations in the educational system, which then higher education, which then leads to professional opportunities. We also have, what's really neat is we hire students on campus, whether they're tutors or working in the offices. That a lot of students come with no background or no work experience. They're learning these skills along with their education that helps them prepare as they move forward for better opportunities. So it's really I guess you could call it a village. It's an effort by us working closely with the communities, the organizations, the campuses that we serve. But then we also work closely with the universities like UC Davis, Sac State. There are local feeder schools, but really all 23 CSUs and 9 UCs and over 100 private colleges. We built those connections. We have resources for the students to come, ask questions, and get the information that they need to move forward. We also have events that are so important, connecting to the university. The transfer event we have annually, where we have universities from throughout the state of California that come and present and talk to students. I mean, that's a great opportunity for the students to just be themselves and say, I want to know about your college. This is what I'm interested in. How much does it cost? What do I got to do to transfer? That right there is connecting the students, building that network. In addition to that, we also have our annual career fair, which is another great partnership with our community organizations and businesses to come on campus. And we do that every spring. And they come, and students get an opportunity to go talk to employers, see what kind of skills they need, what kind of jobs are out there, and they're local, So those are some examples of how we it's a partnership, working together to build the skills, and Woodland offers a lot of these type of opportunities to our students.